Are you still able to remember then that night, what it was like when the bomb went off?
Well, I knew about it, like I from listening to people talking at that particular night, I knew a bomb had dropped. But as a 6-year-old child back in the 1930s, still believed in fairies and all that kind of stuff, and ghosts and everything like that, you know. But it didn't register with me as a child that people were dead and houses were falling down and people were being buried alive. And what I remember about it is I don't remember the explosion. And I always sleep on my right side. I was always deaf on my left ear. And my mother always said that it was the explosion that made me deaf. I remember my father. My father was up, there was another bomb that dropped up on the North Circle Road. And I don't know if you read about my dad.
I've read parts of it, because your father was an Air Raid Precautions Warden.
Yeah.
So he was working that night.
Yeah. And he played a very big part in saving people. And he was a very courageous man. And he didn't speak an awful lot. I mean, I learned more about my dad in here than I ever heard from him. He never spoke about it. And, but he was up in the North Circle helping to try and get a woman that was trapped under a load of debris. And then he knew the next bomb came down, and he knew it had hit somewhere close to where we lived. So he came running down, and I remember my dad sticking his head through the window. The glass and all was gone, the window was gone, and he was black. Whether it was dirt or smoke, I don't know. And
your mum put you all under the table.
Yeah, my mother put us all under the table, and I wanted to get out and see what was going on, because you could see the reflection of the burning. And not the reflection, the glow. You could see that. Anyway, my mother wouldn't let me go. But the next day, we could see all the houses damaged, and the dead bodies. They laid the yard then that they kept the lorries in. We called them pontoons. It was the railway ran on top, and these were the big arches. And all the dead bodies were laid. Well, not all of them. The ones that were there at the time were laid out there. I remember going over and looking at them, and they were covered with white sheets. And there were all sorts of rumours went around after the bombing, and one funny one that I remember was this young lad, when we went back to school. Now, people spoke about the bombing for years, and, you know, and as time goes by, bits are added, you know. And but there was one fella had this story, and he said that there was a man cycling on a bicycle, and he was cycling down by Fairview. Now, you know the North Strand, and you know the distance down to Fairview, and he had no head. And that was one of the stories that went around, you know. Other lads came in and said, my father was, I remember a fella saying, my father was painting the gutters. And what do you think he found? What did he find? An arm. You know, all this kind of stuff, you know. Now, at the time, we believed it, you know. But